talk a little bit more about coloring our writing, and that sounds a little childish, but really we're talking about learning grammar. So I found this article here, Popular Mechanics, a remote Hawaiian island disappeared completely following a hurricane. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to grab this writing and put it into a Google document just so that it's easier to work with. Okay, so here it is. And so again, I'm trying to figure out grammar and learn how people are using grammar and how I would use grammar. And so even when I look at this first sentence, it's pretty long. Um, there's only one comma in it. And so the author's doing something with that comma. He's trying to tell us something. And so I've introduced to you sentence parts. And so there's four possible parts of a sentence. A main part, which is the main sentence, intro, interruption, or add-on. And so really there's only two parts to this sentence. There's a part here and there's a part here. And the author's using this comma like a knife to cut the sentence into two pieces. And I just have to figure out in every single sentence, there is a main sentence hidden somewhere inside the sentence. And it's harder when the sentence has more and more commas to find out, or pieces of punctuation, to find out where the hidden real sentence is. But somewhere in here, there is one real sentence, and the rest is kind of extra information. Okay, and this one should be easy because there's only two parts to this sentence. So the part that I can say all on its own that makes perfect sense all by itself, I know that's the main sentence. So if I just read this, following a powerful storm that submerged the landmass in water, following a powerful storm that submerged the landmass in water, it doesn't make sense. There's no subject. This is the subject of the sentence. Scientists did something. Scientists studying a network of blah, 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 blah. So that I know is my full sentence. This is added information. It's an add-on. So when I color the sentence, it just saves me the hassle of having to write it out and explain it. I could explain this comma by saying, I have a main sentence to the left of the comma. The author put in a comma to separate the main sentence from some extra or added information. I could say all that, or I could just highlight it orange and then I know, you know, that it's added information and the black part is the main part. Okay, the next sentence. The 11-acre East Island was part of the French frigate Shoals, the largest atoll in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, and fell victim to Hurricane Walaka, which battered the state with Category 3 gales earlier this month. Another longer sentence. And I see these things in the middle of the sentence, and then I see another comma here. So the more punctuation, the more complex, the longer the sentence gets. But somewhere there is a full black sentence, a full main sentence in here. Now I know that these things right here are just like commas, these dashes. They're really just called fancy commas, or yeah, that's all they are. It's just high level commas. I could have used a comma if the information in the middle was just sort of medium level importance. I would have used commas, but they're trying to be a little more shocking. And so I'm going to try and not read that and see what happens to the sentence. The 11-acre East Island was part of the French frigate Shoals and fell victim to Hurricane Walaka. Okay, I just stopped reading there. So actually, that's the black part of the sentence. That's the main sentence that I have to say. This is an interruption. He's interrupting himself and explaining what this shoal was like. It was the largest. And then he puts in another knife here, another comma, and has a little bit of extra information, just like he did in that first sentence up there. Okay, and so slowly these colors are explaining my grammar. Comma here, add on. These two dashes are acting like commas and they're interrupting. And so I really only have to read the black part. Here's the next sentence. There's only one comma, should be a little, oh, there's a couple commas. There's two commas, so let's see, we've got three parts. We've got one part here. Okay, we've got another part of the sentence here. And then we've got a third part of the sentence over here. So I just got to find where's that main sentence. So let's try and just read this. Observing the atoll with satellites. Observing the atoll with satellites. So that's not a main sentence. It's like what happened when you observed them. So that's not the main sentence. So I'm guessing that it's an introduction here. Okay, I'm just going to try it for now. I'm just guessing it's a blue introduction and my main sentence is sitting here. Let's read it and see what happens. Scientists from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service discovered East Island completely inundated with water. That's a full sentence. I could stand up on stage in front of 1,000 people and only say this. Scientists from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service discovered East Island completely inundated with water. And everybody would know, oh no, is the island okay? So it makes perfect sense on its own. This is an add-on here. He added information to his main sentence. Okay, let's do one more sentence. And so here's the next sentence here. There's a bit of a swear word in it, it looks like. Anyway, we'll beep that out, okay? So, but I've got a few commas. I've got this piece of a sentence here. Here, I'll get rid of this so it's not bothering anybody. That was a hyperlink, right? And that's a citation, which is good. So there's one part of the sentence here in the front. There's another little piece here. There's another piece here. There's 4 pieces, is that right? 1, 2, 3. There's 4 pieces of the sentence, more complex, but somewhere in here there's a hidden main sentence. Okay, so speaking with Honolulu Civil Beat, that must be a, we could have clicked the hyperlink. It must be a company or something like that, or maybe a news agency or something like that. Speaking with Honolulu Civil Beat, Chip Fletcher, an earth sciences professor at the University of Hawaii, called the island's sudden disappearance a holy beep moment. Okay, so I think what's happening here, this is an important person in the sentence. This is a main part of the sentence. This is explaining who Chip is. That's an interruption. I don't have to say that. It's just like this purple one up here. And so I think my main sentence is actually here. Chip Fletcher called the island's sudden disappearance a holy beep moment. And so that's my black sentence. This is an introduction here. I don't have to, it's helpful to know this, but I don't have to say that. That's why the author put a comma there, separating this introduction from his main sentence, which is here. He happened to interrupt himself again, but I don't have to say the purple part. Chip Fletcher called the islands, okay? And so that's how we color sentences, so to learn grammar, to learn what the author's doing with those commas.